Hello, I'm Roger Gregg with Crazy Dog Audio Theater Company. You can find us at crazydogaudiotheater.com. For the past 9 or 10 years, we've been producing radio comedies and radio dramas, both live and in studio contexts. And to answer a lot of questions, we decided to make some of these things to demonstrate some of our gadgets that we use. This, quite simply, is just a set of chimes. And if you're ever doing anything and you need Oberon to appear and have a little argument with Titania in Midsummer's Night Dream, or, you know, the fairies down at the bottom of the garden. Anyone can play it. You put it down. One thing I will say, though, because of the very high frequencies, this sound is really piercing. You could have you could have an explosion and a brass band playing, and people shouting and roaring and everything, and this, you would still hear it coming through because of the high IQs of it. So if you're mixing things acoustically, make sure that it's well back in the mix, because it'll really want to always jump to the front. These are great. We use these in a couple of different live comedy contexts, and we have the actors standing at microphones, and these, you can't tell anymore, but these are little boxes of cornstarch wrapped up in a lot of packaging tape, because the boxes get squeezed, and already you can see that this one has been through great travails because it's leaking there, spouting some of its cornstarch, which we'll have to hoover up after this. And you have the actors, you know, trudging along over the tundra. So they can do their own footsteps while if their scripts are on music stands. That's how we've used them in live contexts, where the actors are walking like over the Arctic wastes, and they're squeezing these things as they're walking along, trudging through like heavy snow. To great comic effect for the audience, because they see these actors going, "I'm carrying my stuff, trying to," you know, squeezing these things. This little device is called a Röhrtrommel. It's made by a company called Nino. It's German, I think. And they come in different tunings, and it's just a... And it's just... That's all it is. And it makes that sound, which can be used for music, but it also could be used to make like funny computer noises or anything like that. This, I mentioned elsewhere about using all the different animal sounds, animal calls and things. This is a Quaker bleat in heat deer call. So when you're and you can get a variety of these with cows and moose and things like that. And again, in live context, it gets a big laugh. Oh yeah, here we go. This will be much louder now because I have the cap off. This is a twang box built by a percussionist who did several live shows with us, and he kindly left it to our company. It's just knives, cheap knives, on a wooden hollowed out box with some sound holes cut in it, and they're all plastered down so that with one hand the percussionist can kind of go. Well, and it can be played musically as well. You're hearing some of the chimes there, but that's so you don't have... Normally you can take like a plastic ruler or a big knife and hold it down on a countertop and do the twang noise and get a really effective one. You can slide it in and out and change the pitch of it as you do it, but that requires two hands. The nice thing about this is that there's space on the edge, which so it can be clamped down on a table, and these can be tightened down to get a better sound, and therefore the sound effects person or the percussionist, whoever, can operate this thing with one hand, which can be very handy in live contexts. This is a simple giant cone like you'd use in a auto shop for pouring oil or something. We've used it many times in many shows for cheap loudspeaker effects, and also for like outer space bits when the astronauts have to put on their helmets and talk to each other. I am entering the capsule. I am going through the portal door now at the moment, and it's like a cheap, and the actor with the microphone. Again, in live context, it adds to the comedy of it if you have two actors who are going to like step outside the space shuttle and go for a spacewalk, and you have the two actors pick up these cones and start talking with them. It adds to the comedy and the fun of it. Okay, stay tuned. We'll have more sound effects. I'm Roger Gregg, CrazyDogAudioTheater.com.